It's time to get all your Star Wars news in a single file. From Fantatrax TV, this is Good Morning Tatooine!
Good morning, Tatooine. Indeed, we're back once again with your weekly recap of everything Star Wars and Lucasfilm. I'm your host, Brian Cameron, and with me, as always, Mr. Paul Naylor.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings.
How are you tonight, Paul?
I'm all right, Brian. You've survived the windy
I have
gusts.
survived. Was it Storm Amy? Was that what it was called this time?
Was that it?
They
Storm
give
Amy.
it rubbish names, don't they?
Amy.
I know. Survived it. 100 miles an hour winds and all the joys that brings, and the
Storm
power cuts
Annihilation.
and all sorts.
Storm Annihilation. Give it a proper good name, you know.
Yes, that's very true indeed. Beyond that, it's been a relatively quiet week. I haven't been up to much this week. Paul, have you had anything exciting happening in your life?
I've had deadlines coming out my ears, so much so that I could have gone and seen Ash tonight. But no, I was sensible about it. I got too much on my plate. I thought, no, be sensible. So yes, I was available for us to be live. Otherwise, we'd have had to have done a pre-record, and that wouldn't have worked out very well, considering the fact that you lost your electricity.
That's very true.
Everything happens for a reason, mate.
That's true. I see you there with the Mandalorian symbol on your
Mandalorian
chest.
jumper.
Haven't been out assassinating anyone this week.
Not that I'm aware of, but you never know with me. Possibly.
Yeah. We obviously got the trailer last week for The Mandalorian and Grogu. I wasn't such a fan.
No, you
But,
weren't.
you know, it is a film about an assassin taking his small child with him as he goes around the galaxy killing people. It's a tough sell as a kid's movie.
Yeah. I mean, you know, does he care? Possibly. I don't know. Yeah, bring your kid to work day.
Bring your
every
kid
day.
to work day. That's very true. So we've got that to look forward to, and hopefully, we get more news and content very soon on that, and it builds up a level of excitement because I was a bit down last week. It has to be fair to say.
You were. I think those that watched did see that.
I expressed my opinions.
I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm hoping it's good, but I'm expecting it to not be as good as I want it to be, and I want it to do well only for the future of Star Wars at the cinema. So
I tell you what I was doing this week, and I've actually got it here in front of me. I had out, if you recall, the full screen 2-pack of the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, because I was digging out some old bonus features and digitizing them for my own enjoyment. And it obviously has on it the teaser trailer for the Phantom Menace, which was epic. What a trailer.
Was that the one where you first see the creatures coming through the fog?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, so beautifully done. Even the main trailer and the tome poems, if you remember the tome poems, One Love, One Destiny. The marketing for the Phantom Menace was phenomenal.
It certainly was, yeah.
It really was. When you look back, and the whole prequel series, and everyone had its own things, from the behind-the-scenes diaries to Lynn's diaries, all these things, the way that they promoted this film. And we're kind of seeing that a little bit with Starfighter, and they've posted some behind-the-scenes images and so on, where they're willing to interact more, and we just haven't seen that with The Mandalorian and Grogu. And I think that's part of the problem. It hasn't built up the excitement for me because it's effectively a continuation of a TV show, but they haven't given me a justification for why it's got to be a movie.
Yeah. I mean, going back to what you were just saying about the promotion for Phantom Menace, there were some great little clips came out. Like you say, those sort of almost sonnets, weren't they? Each character got their own sort of like mini poem kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's probably the most Darth Maul ever said. certainly from Mr. Serafinovich, anyway. I think the problem with the Phantom Menace was that you watched the trailers and you thought, this looks really interesting. I have to admit, The Phantom Menace, it took me a long time to get to like that film.
Yeah, I have to admit that's very true, in that the marketing of it was so good that the expectations were massive without the marketing for The Phantom Menace.
Absolutely.
It was never going to reach the expectations. Maybe they're going the opposite way. Maybe they're just showing us all the rubbish bits from The Mandalorian and the film will actually be good.
I think let's hope.
Let's hope it. But yeah, the Phantom Menace market was phenomenal, and I've been thinking about it a lot this week, and because I was so down on the Mandalorian, and I just remembering things like the Pepsi cans and the Walker's crisp packets and everything. It was so much fun at that time being a Star Wars fan, and I want to have that enjoyment for the Mandalorian and Grogu, and I'm just not feeling it yet, but.
Whether that sort of type of marketing is now sort of never going to happen again, I don't know. But I loved collecting the Tazos from the Walker's Crisps. That was fantastic. I remember seeing the Pepsi cans about, and then there was all sorts, wasn't it? It's got so many crossovers, and so much of the like figures and the content and the books and the behind the scenes books were available at launch. Yeah,
and we just don't see that at all anymore, and it's kind of a shame. And I'd love to have that feelings for new Star Wars content.
Yeah. Ho hum.
Ho ho.
Never mind.
Anyway,
let's see.
Let's see what we've got to speak about this week.
Hopefully it'll be enjoyable. Yeah.
Let's see. It's going to be controversial anyway, because we're starting with the conversion of the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. We'll be digging into that. We've also got the fact that James Mangold signed an overall deal with Paramount Pictures and how that may impact upon his future Star Wars film.
You'll have to fill me in on that one, yeah.
Disney have sent a cease and desist letter to Character.AI, the AI company, that's become quite popular out there. A lot of AI content being distributed. No more so than from the President of the United States of America seems to be enjoying the use of AI quite a lot as well. Fans of The Last Jedi, Paul, you're a big fan of The Last Jedi. It's going to be getting aired at Picturehouse Central. We'll be discussing that and our memories of The Last Jedi. And lastly, on the news front, Ray Winstone has been talking about how he was almost cast as Padme's father in Attack of the Clones. He had a quite funny, what I found quite a funny story about that. And we'll also be recapping Andor Season 2, Episode 10, Make It Stop, in our deep dive segment, The Death Star Cometh, one of my favourite episodes of Andor, so I'm looking forward to that.
And that's the start of the final arc, isn't it? Yeah,
and obviously we want anyone who's watching, throw your comments, whether you're on X or Facebook, YouTube. Like Jonathan here. Hello, Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
We want to hear what you think about the news, what you think about the Andor episode as well as we discuss that. So feel free to throw your comments in. We'll try and include as many as we can during the show. So quite an eclectic news there, Paul.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you managed to patch together some interesting stuff from a relatively quiet week.
It has been a quiet week. And it often is a quiet week after they've had a trailer release. So they're letting that simmer. I should perhaps watch the trailer again this week and see how I feel.
So that you can simmer.
So I can simmer. But yeah, let's get stuck straight into the news. And we're starting off with the former home of the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. And conversion of it has started. It is now going to be offices for the Walt Disney Imagineering team. And so the billion-dollar resort hotel, almost 2 years on, it's being converted into offices for the Imagineering team. So the site of the greatest failure of the Imagineering team will be now where they are forced to work every day.
Do you think there'll be any sort of hint of its former use that they keep? Do you think there'll still be a Starcruiser vibe to it or not?
I don't know. It would kind of be rubbing salt in the wounds, wouldn't it, really?
Yeah, so I'd keep it, yeah.
It's a difficult one. I was insulted by the whole project from the start when they mentioned pricing, because I'm very much a believer that it should be accessible to most people. Now, Disney prices are expensive anyway, so a lot of people will say, oh, I can never afford Disney anyway. But if you're going on an international holiday, it's probably within your reach to buy a Disney ticket, if even for one day. The Galactic Starcruiser is not within most people's spending money, shall we say.
No. And also, I think I'm right in saying it was only basically a 2-day sort of event, wasn't it? I mean, there's no point going for 4 days because you're just going to get your 2 days repeated.
It was a long
again.
weekend experience, wasn't it? It wasn't you weren't going there to stay your 2 weeks.
No.
But you were still expected to pay out $5-6 grand for those couple of nights.
Yeah, I think it was $5 or $6 grand for a room that would accommodate 4 people. So you were looking
which
at
looked like an easy
each.
hotel.
Yeah. It wasn't exactly plush, was it?
No. Do you think that the Imagineering employees will have very expensive food and drink in the restaurant?
I hope so. I hope they have that. Was it something ridiculous price on a cocktail that they put on towards the end of
£1,000 drink?
That's it. Stick that in the clicks machine.
When they go for their lunch, they might have a random singer come out.
Come out of nowhere, singing something akin to the Star Wars holiday special. Yeah, that'd be great. No, I mean, I'm like you. I was intrigued about it when it was first announced. All the marketing for it, I thought, this isn't for me. And this isn't sour grapes because I didn't go. I genuinely don't think that I would have got my bang for buck out of it. I would have come away from it feeling quite sick, I think, thinking I spent that amount of money. Yeah. Now, had it been for a lot less and a bit more Star Warsy, I'd have been all over it. But it just didn't look Star Wars enough to me. And I've had this conversation with some people that have been, and they still say that they had a fantastic time. This blah blah blah. Great. I mean, if you enjoyed it, fantastic. I'm just saying that for me, it's not a big miss.
And as terms of building it, it's quite a distance away from anywhere else. So it makes sense they're just turning it into office space because it's kind of out there on its own. Beyond the front of the building, it's just a big concrete block. Yeah. So no harm, no foul. There is the fact that you got shuttled from the hotel over to Galaxy's Edge. And there is a big sort of tunnel kind of entrance at Galaxy's Edge, which they haven't announced what they're going to do with. So there is a big area of space there that could be developed that would make more sense to make it a Star Wars themed attraction of some kind.
That would be pretty easy to do, wouldn't it? Any idea on how big this tunnel is?
Well, it seems sizable to me.
Yeah. So you could make it into a dining area or a bar or something.
Yeah. Something needs to happen there because it becomes kind of like a shelter from the heat, where everyone kind of gathered a little bit. But yeah, that's the one thing. So I think this will probably be the last we ever hear of the Galactic Starcruiser because it's just an office block now. Who cares?
In many respects, it's a good job it wasn't built right at the back of the the Falcon and everything else that they've got there in Star
Yeah.
Wars Land. If it had been part of Batuu, it could have been a real embarrassment. So thankfully, it's away from all that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Sad
it's
days,
a
and
shame.
the poor
It is a
Imagineering
shame.
team are going to be stuck in their greatest failure for the rest of their days. So sad days.
Yeah.
Next up in the news front, James Mangold was in the news this week. Obviously, director of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny and of the upcoming Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi film that was announced at Celebration back in London.
Yeah.
And he's just signed an overarching deal with Paramount Studios to develop projects exclusively for Paramount, which a little bit surprising because the Dial of Destiny didn't do great and it was being distributed by Paramount. So a little bit of a maybe strange move, but all these companies are so desperate for content, they are trying to sign up the big talents, and James Mangold is a big talent, so he's got a 5-year deal with Paramount. And
This is very much like the early days of Hollywood, where they would have like houses, wouldn't they? Where they've got their own sort of in-house talent to keep
Yeah.
churning stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and everyone's kind of fighting to get their own team. And obviously,
Yeah.
this raised concerns because, will the Star Wars project still happen if he's now exclusive
That's
to
what
Paramount?
I was just going to ask. Yeah. Yeah.
He's got a
exactly.
couple of projects he'd already signed up to. They exist outside of the Paramount deal, so they can continue to be developed and executed and released. So there is no problem with them continuing to do the Dawn of Jedi.
Don't you think, though, with recent history, the fact that we've had so many Star Wars projects that have been announced and then have just not happened, that Paramount could almost use that as an excuse and an easy out for not doing the
Well,
Dawn?
this is kind of what my thinking is that unless Lucasfilm are very serious about making that film, it's very quite easy for it not to happen.
Yeah.
And they seem to be quite serious about it. Obviously, they announced it at Celebration. And he is a
Or whether
very
they've-
talented director, there is no doubt about that.
Yeah. Is he contributing to the story for that
He
Star Wars
was.
film?
He was contributing to the story. There was a writer on board as well, but he was very much involved in the whole creation of it.
Right.
But things have kind of gone a little bit quiet on that front. So it'll be interesting. I think if nothing happens and it's not announced to be going into production within the next 12 months, it's going to be another one of those that we can put on the shelf with the Ryan Johnson trilogy.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed that one never sees the light of day. Yeah. No, it would be a shame if it doesn't happen, because I think a lot of people were looking forward to seeing that. For me, it's if it doesn't happen, it's no big deal because it's so detached from everything else. If it was part of, if he'd been involved in a trilogy of films and we'd had the first two and then he was sort of like cast aside, then that would be a problem. But I'm not overly concerned about if that one comes off the slate.
If we don't have James Mangold making Star Wars, maybe we'll get it made with AI.
Yes. Yeah.
Who loves AI? Disney don't appear to love AI too much, or do they? They have sent a cease and desist letter to the very popular platform, Character.AI, who allow you to make little clips in movies using animated characters. And Disney, not very happy that Character.AI is using their characters. And have trained their AI based on the Disney's copyrighted works. And so they've put a cease and desist. They want it to stop. But here's the thing. You're creating characters on the AI system. It's already learned from Disney's material. How do you remove that learning?
Yeah.
And this is the thing with all AI learning language models, is once they've had the input, you can't really take it away.
This is why they think it's going to take over the world. It's an interesting one because obviously there's copyright infringement and all that, but would the argument be that the AI understands it rather than the human, and that therefore, how can it be copyright infringement? Because it's just what the computer's churning out. And how do you sue a computer?
If you've used Disney's content to train your AI, that's where the infringement happens.
Yeah.
It's like, but what can you do after the point in time? That's kind of my take on it. It's like, you can't make it unlearn it, or how do you prove it's been unlearned?
Yeah. Isn't there also a lot of stuff these days? I mean, I know it certainly happened with the Disney versions of Winnie the Pooh, whereby the copyright sort of, it came to an end, and that's why you get these Winnie the Pooh horror films and different things. Isn't that the case with Mickey Mouse as well?
Yeah, over the next few years, a lot of Disney's properties go into that kind of window where other companies can then start using those characters at will. We've already seen that with the very original design for Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
But Disney themselves don't do very much with a lot of the Disney characters, and so nobody else is, because there's not the marketplace for it. There may be in terms of merch, and so you might see a lot of things in terms of merch. You're probably not going to see, as these characters become available, a lot of animation or movies or things, because if Disney don't see the value in producing content using those characters, why would someone else take the stab in the dark that maybe we could make money from this?
I was thinking about this the other day, because I took my two children to Disneyland Paris many, many years ago when they were small. And Mickey Mouse he's not on the radar. So how come he's still like such a focus of that park? But the kids gravitate towards it. It's almost like they reckon you come out of the womb knowing all the Beatles songs, don't they? So it's a bit like that. But it's a strange one, Mickey Mouse, and
there's a lot of other major franchises starting to follow this. James Bond is another example that comes up into the window very, very soon as well.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings won't be too far away as well, in terms of reaching the time window where these things become ready available. So you see the likes of Amazon, who have paid a lot of money for James Bond.
Yeah.
During that agreement where they've got James Bond becomes available to other companies to use as well. And it then becomes...
Do you know what is the ruling? Is it like 70 years, 75 years?
It's complicated. It depends what it is. Because there's been various extensions over the years, it gets kind of complicated. Let me just have a quick Google as to when James Bond becomes... Because
if it's 50 years, we've got a big problem coming up with Star Wars.
Let's see if I can get the date. 2035.
For Bond?
For the original James Bond novels and the character of Bond.
Right.
For the United States, it's not until 2050. So you could make something James Bond for the UK market, but not sell it internationally, which makes it probably unviable. The thing is if you're a fan of a franchise, would you stay loyal to the corporation that holds the original James Bond, or would you just buy into any James Bond content? It's a little bit like original Stormtrooper products.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Which I don't buy because I don't like the whole use of the brand, shall we say.
Yeah.
But many people will pick up those products because they become a little bit more common and available in supermarkets and a little bit different from your standard Star Wars wear.
They're the ones that do like the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil stormtroopers and things like that. Yeah, and I the only thing I have got from them, and I didn't realise it was when I bought it because I wasn't really that knowledgeable of such things, is the I've got the decanter, which is quite nice.
Yeah,
the Stormtrooper decanter. But
so you're going to see a lot more things like that, and a lot of the Disney characters over the next few years are going to fall into these categories, and it'll be interesting. To see how they're used. But yeah, the whole thing with AI is they're too late. You know, the governments are too late legislating for these things. These companies are too late, because once these AI languages have been taught, it's very difficult to unteach them.
As
So they could
say,
send
Brian,
a cease and desist to Character.AI, but how does Character.AI stop it going
how
forward?
do they remove? Yeah, the genie is out of the bottle, as they say. So
Yep.
there you go. Yeah.
It's a little bit like AI. It's reading all your tweets and learning everything about your language and how you speak and what you've posted and all that kind of thing. It's tough, people. You've given them those content. You gave them those permissions. And the technology has come along and now they're going to use them. And I believe in a couple of weeks' time, X is going to be creating its own version of Wikipedia using the information that you've fed into it over the years.
Oh, great.
And it's going to be called Grokipedia. And so all this information we've put out there, we're in very much the same situation as Disney. Think of all the photos that you've uploaded to Facebook, Instagram. And if you read the terms and conditions of Facebook and Instagram, they can use those photos.
Yeah.
And people have found, there's a story recently on Instagram where Instagram had taken pictures of school children in their school uniforms on their back to school photos and used it in an advert that was going out to 40, 50-year-old men. Difficult, because you've consented to the use of those photographs for Facebook Meta to use as promotion.
Yeah.
So you've given them the permissions already, even though you don't think about the consequences of it. And
basically, it's a minefield.
It's a minefield, it really is. And we've agreed to things without thinking. Like, should we agree to these things? And I don't see, even with this cease and desist, Character.AI can't, certainly won't be able to promote the fact that you can use it to make Disney characters going forward. But the information's in there if you wanted to do it. It's
a strange time, isn't it? Where do you see it all ending up then? Do you think that it's going to go down
like
legal
the Terminator
route?
movies?
The better ones.
I like the one with Amelia Clark.
Each to their own.
Each to their own. You know, it's like if I'm going to be murdered by a robot, I would like Amelia Clark to come and rescue me. That's all I'm saying. I think I will be murdered by a robot. I hate droids. It's going to happen.
It is going to happen.
It's going to happen. And I'll just be lying there in a pool of blood, like Luthen Rail that we'll see later in today's show. And I'll just say, whisper, told you guys.
I've got visions now. It's a super battle droid that topples on you. So just be careful of your surroundings.
But I think the genie's out the bag. I think these companies are too late. I think the governments have reacted too late. And all the governments are actually wanting AI firms to come to their countries because they think that's the future and where money will be made. And so they're too scared to legislate against them. The world is full of pathetic governments. Let's move swiftly on.
Never has it been more so.
To more pathetic things. The Last Jedi.
Oh, God. Oh, dear Lord.
Paul, you and me are not fans of The Last Jedi. There many people are.
This isn't going to be a very balanced argument.
This week, Thursday the 9th of October, would you like to go to Piccadilly Circus, to the Picturehouse Central at 7 p.m. to see The Last Jedi?
No. Only to protest.
It could be like Palestinian action in London all over again. There'll be mass protests and arrests outside of the Picturehouse.
Oh, God. I really do want to understand and like this film, and I don't think I ever will.
Rian Johnson will be there for an extended introduction to the film.
Oh, will he?
He's actually in London because his new, his third Knives Out film is out this week, and it's been shown at the BFI for its premiere. And so he's in London this month.
Do you know what, Brian? I got such a dislike of The Last Jedi that, and even though I've heard good things about the knives that are out, I refuse to watch the film on the basis that what he did to Star Wars. So even if I can just sort of like lessen his earnings by a couple of quid, then I'm never going to watch anything he does again.
At the end of the article, it says, be sure to check back for our Last Jedi review by Paul Naylor.
Does it?
It does. Very small writing there.
Very small writing.
I think it was just that. That was just a little in joke for you, I think. Do you know how much the tickets are? I don't know. Let's click through.
Why not?
Does it say?
Oh dear.
Show all dates.
They can't give them away.
Choose your cinema.
Now, I think I've told you this before, Brian. The Last Jedi is the Star Wars film that I've seen most at the cinema, because I was that desperate to get it and like it, and
I don't know how to buy in this website. Is it sold out? I don't know.
People already queuing up with their petrol bombs. Oh dear.
I don't know. I don't know people how you buy in this website. Oh, here we go.
No.
Oh, you've got to sign in. Who cares? Who cares? Continuous guess.
Don't accidentally buy a ticket.
23.35, Paul. It's a bargain.
For that, I'd want a Pizza Hut meal, and I want a large Coke and popcorn for the cinema. So,
2 hours, 29 minutes of your life.
That you'll never get back. Ever.
Give it a few years, you'll get a discount at £2 for an over 60s.
Yeah, not long now.
But yeah, you get a lovely introduction from Ryan Johnson. So you could go there and, if you wanted, holler something. Not that I'm suggesting that you should do that kind of thing. But I'm guessing, Paul, you're not actively looking to attend.
No, I won't be attending. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Lots of people will, though, because lots of people love the film. And we must remember that...
What's wrong with these people?
It's one of these things, I think, it is content that people either loved or hate. It's like Marmite on your toast.
It is.
You either love it or hate it. And I actually think that people who didn't grow up on the original trilogy are probably able to enjoy it more than people that did, because people that grew up in the original trilogy have very fond memories of the character of Luke, where if you didn't grow up in that trilogy, that character perhaps has less meaning to you. So the hurt from the way you see that character portrayed is not there as at the same level.
I know some older fans, sort of our sort of age group, sort of 40s, 50s, and they say how good it is.
Oh, out them.
I don't want to. I'm not going to out Darth Elvis on this show. That just would not be appropriate.
And I think that's entertainment, is it? Some people love it, some people hate it. I find it a film very difficult to watch. And because I've been digitising a lot of my collection, like I mentioned earlier with The Phantom Menace, it's fascinating to see the content that Lucasfilm creates around film releases, and how much the levels of it differ depending on the project. And when you look at the content for The Last Jedi, they were so excited for it. Excited for it. And then post-release featurettes, like the director in the Jedi documentary, they admittedly have to admit that not a lot of people were happy. And so the tone of the featurettes changes post-release compared to pre-release. And by the time that Solo came round, they just created nothing. They did not care.
No.
The content for featurettes around Solo is perhaps a third of what a normal film gets. And so it's fascinating when you start digging into bonus features and featurettes around product releases, just the way that Lucasfilm's opinions change. And you see that very much on Andor, how much they absolutely love Andor.
Yeah.
And how little support they gave to other projects, like the Skeleton Crew has far less content around it. And yeah, I loved the Skeleton Crew. It was fun. It was different.
It was good, yeah. I mean, I'd certainly be up for watching that again. I haven't got around to it yet. In fact, the other day I started watching the Obi-Wan Kenobi series again, and that's a lot better than I remember it being. It does still feel a little bit too indoorsy on a lot of what's supposed to be outdoorsy stuff. But other than that, I find it quite enjoyable. But
The Rise of Skywalker, another great example. DVD
oh
with 6 featurettes and
yeah,
nothing else. Not even a director's commentary. No deleted
no.
scenes.
But what annoys me
It
is
was just
when you
it was just a film pumped out, and we don't care. We've given up.
it was almost like it's a contractual obligation. We've got to
That's what
finish
it
this
looks
thing
like.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was some behind the scenes things on the DVD of The Rise of Skywalker that I quite enjoyed, and um, they looked like they were enjoying making the film. And God love them, God love
that's
them,
because
because it was awful.
sometimes you go to work and you think, we get paid to do this rubbish. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I
It's a
have to say,
shame. I think I feel sorry for the people that made The Rise of Skywalker, because I just get the impression that there was an element of an inevitability of this is going to be hated.
yeah,
And I don't think it
yeah.
was hated in the same way The Last Jedi was hated. I think it was just, we just need to do this and finish it, this
I
trilogy.
think for a lot of people, it's difficult to separate the two, isn't it? You know, it's almost like because of what happened in 8, nine's never going to be a satisfactory film. For
But
me, the biggest crime was the fact that what happened to Luke Skywalker. I don't think that's what should have happened with that character, and I'm sick of hearing all this subverting your expectations. That's not what Star Wars is about. Star
no,
Wars is
but
about
that is, when you look at the featurettes, what they achieved with The Last Jedi was exactly what they set out to do. And then after they released it,
yeah.
they realised, and you can see it in the featurettes, there's this sharp realisation of, oh, we
Oh,
probably shouldn't have done that.
we went there and we shouldn't have.
But they
Yeah, yeah.
100% intended to go where they went with it.
Mm.
And yeah.
Too much power given to one person again. That's the problem.
Yeah, and it was an odd choice, because you can sort of understand it with JJ, because he had a very, very established and successful career pre The Force Awakens. Rian Johnson was still a director very much in his infancy at that point, and he has gone on to have a successful career. There's no doubt about it. He has talent.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
has been involved in some very successful projects and very much well-loved projects.
yeah.
He's a particular type of filmmaker, and he's not someone who is there for everyone. And he consciously said he did not want to make a Star Wars film. He wanted to challenge the expectations, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they wanted, and that's what they delivered. And
I think for me, the disappointing thing is that I really enjoyed The Force Awakens. I think it's a good soft reboot of Star Wars. It it trod a lot of familiar ground, sometimes too familiar, but it was a great way of relaunching Star Wars, if you like, for a younger generation.
what I
But it set up a really good possible storyline that I think was trashed.
what I think about the problem with The Force Awakens is, because it was too soft, it also almost encouraged them to go too far with the next one.
Maybe,
It's
maybe.
like that kind of
I mean,
dynamic to it.
you say it goes soft, but I mean, we lost Han Solo, so and for a lot of people that was quite hard to take. But that would have been Harrison's
Yeah, my
sort
biggest
of
criticism of the sequel
stipulation.
trilogy is you don't bring Han, Luke, and Leia back together and not
Yeah,
have a monumental scene with
yeah,
all three of them.
and I'd add to that Lando as well. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought he
absolutely.
was badly treated across the trilogy as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, what's done is done. We can only
Yeah.
move forward, backwards, and in
If you loved
between.
The Last Jedi, head to Piccadilly on Thursday. You'll enjoy it again, I'm sure. I'll stay away.
Yeah, you won't be able to get me there.
So, no review coming up.
No,
Um, the Phantom Menace. Would you go and see The Phantom Menace on the big screen?
The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
yeah, I
Attack of the
suppose
Clones,
so.
even.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you talking
Would you
about?
go and see it with Ray Winstone as Padme's father?
Well, I mean, there were scenes filmed for
There
Padme's father
was. There
with an
was.
Australian actor, yeah, who did reprise that cut role for the end of the Revenge of the Sith during the funeral procession.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, Ray Winstone. So go on, fill us in on Ray Winstone. What was?
So he went in and he auditioned. He was invited in.
Yep.
And George Lucas was there. He was auditioning to play the role of the princess's father or something like that. Padme's father. And he'd had a night on the tiles the night before. And as he describes it, I was pissed. I'd been out all night and I turned up and I knew I was wrong for the part as soon as I walked in. But instead of saying that, the message was relayed to me through someone else, and he took umbrage at that. He was still drunk from the night before, and he assumed George Lucas had jet lag because he yawned all the way through the audition. They both knew it was a doomed endeavour, but when the director gave him nothing but silence, he was asked a simple question. Why don't we both have a 15-minute sleep and then I'll fuck off? So presumably George and him both had a 15-minute sleep. Ray did what he said he was going to do, and they all met back years later on the set of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Do you remember that time that we had that snooze? Oh dear. Well, at least it didn't do me any harm in the long run, but yeah.
So yeah, interesting, but I 100% agree with him. Entirely wrong for the parts. That's one. It's on the casting agent. That one, and you can get it if you walk into audition. You know straight away you're not right for the part. I've been very fortunate in that, bar one job, anytime I've gone in for a job interview, I've got the job or been offered the job. Not always taken it, but been offered the job. Yeah. Apart from one time. Yeah. And that one time, I actually said during the interview, I'm entirely the wrong person for this job. And I'll tell you what company that was for.
Go on.
ILM.
Really?
In the UK, in London.
Really?
Wow. It was clear I was the wrong person for the job entirely. Wow. And there was no point continuing the interview because what they were offering wasn't what I wanted. Yeah. And I would have been terrible for them, and they would have been terrible for me.
But with your love for film, that must have been a tough thing for you to have said.
It was, but they didn't want the kind of accountant that I am. They wanted something very specific that would have bored me to tears.
Yeah, yeah.
And
they'd have made you robotic, and you don't like robots.
Plus, they weren't, in my opinion, they weren't paying enough for a London wage.
Yeah, well,
which was another negative factor.
Yeah, you've got to take that into consideration.
But I did not tell them to go away in uncertain terms. I was very cordial, and I think they recognised it and were very appreciative of let's just be honest and let's just end this here and shake hands and move forward and move on. And
Blimey.
We did.
That's the first time I've heard that story, so that's fantastic.
Yeah. That was years ago when they were opening their London office. Yeah,
I remember it well. Yeah. Wow. Well, their loss is our gain.
Yeah, but nobody yawned. Nobody was drunk. I was not drunk. I did have a night out the night before because travelled out to London. Why not go out with your friends?
You went out from McDonald's.
Yeah. But yeah, that's so it's always interesting if you find yourself in a room being interviewed or auditioning and you know you're not the right person for the job. That's got to be a difficult situation for anyone.
Yeah. I mean, over the years that's happened to me as well, and as I suppose I've come out of it and not got the job and been quite relieved actually that I've not got the job because I just knew that I wouldn't enjoy it, or the role wasn't the right for me. But yeah, I think I'd have found that quite tough to turn something down that would have been so close to the movie industry and so close, particularly to Star Wars. But
and there is an element of truth in that. But the problem is would the experience be even worse if you took a job and then hated the job?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's
it could make.
Should you do something that you love when you know that doing it is going to break your heart in a way?
Wow, we've gone deep on this one.
We have, and that's the end of the news. But as I look on the left-hand side of the site, Echo Base is next weekend. Paul, you're going to be at Echo Base, aren't you?
I'm at Echo Base. I'm there as a trader. Yeah.
Are you going to be scalping people?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Check out this face. Let's put it up on the big screen. So if you're at Echo Base, there you go. That's the man to buy from. That's a man to buy from.
All my prices are down on the fairer side, and I'm always open to, make me an offer. Make me an offer.
Make me an offer. Make an offer you can't refuse.
It's basically a lot of Black Series stuff that I no longer collect, so I'd rather it went to people that do collect it and maybe have missed the odd figure here and there. So, yeah.
On that note, should we head to the Death Star cometh?
Yes. It's coming. Here
we go. The Death Star is cometh. We are going to be reviewing, and we're going to be reviewing episode 10 of Andor. I forgot to put the text up, but who cares?
I was going to say, yeah. This bit always goes wrong.
Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
So what was it called again? It's episode 10. What's the title?
It's called... Oh, what's it called, Paul? You should know.
I know.
It's
you
called
did say it earlier.
Make It Stop.
That's it. Make It Stop.
This is the episode where the rebels show their true colours and kill all the nice people. And we start off 1 year later, and we also get the BBY1, which anyone who's not a hardcore expanded universe Star Wars film goes, what's a BBY?
It's like a baby. It's like a small baby.
It's like a baby one. So it's 1 year before the Battle of Yavin.
Yes.
I still call it Yavin. Yavin. I know. But, I'm from an age when these things stick in your head when you're a kid. And we start off with a little alarm going off in the office of Luthen Rail, which wasn't very sneaky because it was quite, an alarming alarm.
Yeah.
And Clea.
Yeah, Clea.
I was off to call her Kayla. I keep calling her Kayla. Clea. She comes in. She gets a gun out the office. And she then heads to Luthen's ship with it. And he's there touching up his hair, putting on his rings. Getting all ready.
Getting into character.
They have a little bit of a tense conversation because I think they both realise things are coming to a conclusion at this point. Their little scheme has run its course. And the day starts off nice and early in the centre of Coruscant there with Luthen. Got to see Robert Eames sitting there nicely on the chair.
Old Lonnie Young.
Lonnie Young.
Yeah.
And they have something of a tense conversation because he's had enough. He wants out. He's got all the information he can give to Luthen. He's off to give it to him on condition that he gets freedom out of the ISB, off planet, to a place of safety for him and his wife and kids. Not much to ask for dedicated service.
Selling your soul, yeah.
And it gets heated, and he tells a secret about the fact that the global warming's fake, is basically what he says. The energy project is not real. There's really all this money getting spent on solar panels and windmills is really to build a planet-killing machine called the Death Star. You can decide yourself if current world governments are doing something similar. Excuse me.
Politics.
Timed cough that was. You can actually go and find a seat and sit in it. And if anyone sits next to you, you have my consent to assassinate them.
So whereabouts is this? Where is this?
Spain, isn't it? Spain?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And we're hoping, aren't we? Fingers crossed.
We're going to go and sit there, aren't we, Paul?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see who gets murdered first.
With a cornetto.
Yeah. And he gets told, I'm going to get you off planet, and you're going to Yavin. And he goes, what's a Yavin? He just wants safety. He wants to know what's going to happen to his wife and kids. Are they all going to get free? He's been monitoring Dedra's communications and access to her files for a year. He knows everything.
Yeah.
And he tells Luthen. And then we see Luthen walking away.
Yeah.
And with quite a scowl on his face. The big plan is exposed, really, of the Empire. And so it's time for the rebels to react. But then we get this little scene with a guy out walking his Lothcat, I guess it is. And we learn that poor Lonnie's been shot and killed and just sat there dead.
Just nodded off. He's nodded off.
You think?
Yeah.
Just got a burn hole in his jacket.
Yeah. No, he was offered the role of Padme's father in Attack of the Clones.
He's had a heavy night out. And it leads to Luthen meeting up with Clea. And he basically fills Clea in. And she does a little bit of a memory game of Scarif, Erso, Death Star, which was quite entertaining, really. It was quite funny.
And what was brilliant about this is this all builds up to Clea being prominent in this episode.
Yeah, and this is what I love about this episode. This episode is about the background characters in effect. And I know Lonnie and Clea aren't background characters, but when this whole series started, they were not intended to be main characters who would lead a storyline in an episode.
Yeah, they felt very incidental, didn't they? Yeah.
And so she gets filled in on the plan. She's to go into hiding because Luthen's going to tear shit up, basically. He pours a chemical liquid all over their communication device and fries it to pieces. And just as he's doing that, ding dong, there's someone at the shop door. Who could it be, Paul? He looks delighted to see them, doesn't he?
He looks absolutely thrilled. And who is it? It's Claire Henry.
Our good friend Claire, better known to everyone else as Dead Ramiro. And he welcomes her in with that wonderful Luthen Rail charm. Look at that. Happy days. And she plays the part. She's delighted to see him as well and asks all about his antiquities and everything. He shows her a beautiful carved knife, and which she inspects. And in return, she says, I've got something maybe you're interested in. Look at this antique Imperial navigator technology. Would you want this? Have you seen one of these before, Luthen?
Maybe.
And they get into a little tete-a-tete, a little back and forth, and a little few barbed jibes back and forth without anyone really saying anything in particular. And they get face to face, and it becomes very clear that she knows his reality and he knows hers, and they've known of each other for long enough, and things have come to a head. She then notices the smoke from his work destroying the communication equipment in the back office, so she pulls her gun on him. But it's all too late, because surprisingly, he's stabbed himself.
He's committed Harry Carey.
He has. There's poor Luthen. And all the rest of her sort of Imperial team come racing in, and they've got medics and everything, and they try and keep him alive, and the little droids cart him off into the ambulance. And Dedra seems a little bit shocked and stunned at the turn of events, I think, because she was expecting this to be her glorious moment of bringing down Access, and she would be rewarded, and the Emperor would love her forever and ever. And also shocked Clea in the distance with all these Coruscant citizens watching on, because what do people love more than a blue light incident to get them all out having a little gawk to see what's happening? And he gets carted off to the hospital.
It's almost like the dropship, isn't it? The gunship.
It is. Yeah, you could probably get one in HasLab next year. Stretch goals. You can get a Luthen rail. figurine. And a Clea and a Dedra
Lutheran Rail body bag.
You'll get Old Granny as a stretch goal. Which we'll come to in a minute. Things are kicking off at the ISB because they think, because of Lonnie's death, but no, it's all kicking off because of what Dedra's done, because she's done it on her own back without the rest of the ISB panel being aware.
Yeah.
CSI move in on Luthen's ship and his office, but he's kind of destroyed everything. Claire, she's in hiding. She's gone to the secret underground flat on Coruscant, which is a bit scabby looking. Let's be honest now.
I think he's destroyed that as well, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Disgusting, yeah.
This is what happens when you get dodgy tenants. Like they're not getting their Cassian's not getting his deposit back, is he?
He's not getting his deposit back. And, if they've done a kitchen refit or a bathroom refit, maybe he'd kept up the payments, but dodgy landlords.
The weird thing is he's like taking the bed, taking the sofa. It's like...
If it's not tied down, I'm having it.
Yeah, he's sold it all off.
Even the vase of flowers has gone.
And she goes into deep in thought here, and we get a nice little flashback to young Luthen.
Yeah.
And Cleo's hiding on his ship. They're on a war-torn planet. People are being killed, and this is the origin of Luthen and Clea.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit interesting. And we see a lot of cutscenes here between the current day and flashbacks.
Yeah.
So we go to Luthen, all hooked up in some kind of stab vest support type thing to heal him, as Dedra watches on. And Clea comes into the hospital faking an injury to her hand, but uses that as an excuse to break into the nurse's quarter and put on a nurse's uniform so she can move around the hospital. A lot of ISB presence there. They come and cart Dedra away for questioning because she's gone against operation plans. We get the debut of Granny, who Clea uses to sneak around the hospital and make it look like she's a genuine nurse.
Yes.
Talking of cutscenes, we see a little glimpse of young Luthen and Clea, and we get a little bit of story of how he teaches her to be a scumbag, basically.
Why not?
And this is all intertwined with Granny being carted around the hospital, and we see Clea witnessing a Imperial punishment being dished out, shall we say.
Was this like a shooting squad?
It was. Bad people.
Yeah.
Receiving a judicial sentence, is how we'll describe it. And she watches on, and I guess this is shown to show the justification for her behaviours during her life and what's moulded her to be who she is.
Yeah.
We then cut to modern day, where she walks around the hospital and assassinates lots of Imperial soldiers as she makes her way to Luthen's level.
Yeah.
And it's intertwined with a cutscene on Naboo, of all planets.
Hey. Always good to go back to Naboo.
It is. And as Paul saying, Brian, casually skipping the whole Imperials committing genocide part. Well, if you watch BBC News, you're not allowed to talk about people committing genocide anymore. You've got to pretend like it's not happening. So I've just followed current politics. But,
oh dear!
Oh no, that's me taken off the air for this week.
Help me, Paul. Help.
Yeah. We get this lovely bridge in Naboo. If you've watched the aforementioned bonus features, you'll see that it was actually a deleted scene was actually filmed here in this same location.
Oh, is this where the ship nearly goes over the waterfall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun that they actually went back to the same location and filmed there. So it's very much truly Naboo scenes. And he gives Clayla a little button to press, which causes the Imperials to be blown up, basically.
Yeah.
Cut to modern day, and what's Clayla doing? But exactly the same. Pushes a little button, causes an explosion, which I presume is going to be classed as Imperial vehicles, but they kind of look ambulance-y to me, so I don't know.
They do look sort of medical vehicles, don't they? Yeah.
But that allows Clayla to get up to the 19th level, having killed a few people on the way, to where Luthen is, being aided by a machine to be kept alive. And she's very upset.
Yeah.
She gives him the Godfather kiss to the forehead, unhooks him from the machine so that he dies.
Lets him fade away.
Yeah. And that was that week's episode.
It was great. It was a really, really strong episode, wasn't it?
A brilliant character episode.
Yeah. If you'd been watching Andor from season 1, from episode 1 through to this, you've already built up an attachment to Luthen and to Clea.
Yeah.
And so that scene really resonated, didn't it? But
and when you look back at Andor season 1, you see the character Clea, very much almost a background character.
Very much.
Just very subtle moments and very subtle scenes. You would never expect in a series condensed from 5 seasons to 2 seasons that she would have an episode effectively dedicated to her.
Yeah. Well, when I went to Star Fury last year, she was on stage giving answering questions, Q&A panel. And she would have obviously already have filmed season 2 by then, because it took some time for it to to come out. So she would have had the knowledge that we didn't have, that she was no longer this sort of background character. She'd got something of significance. It was a little bit like what they did with Katie, that had that whole episode with Dr. Pershing.
Yes, yeah.
It was
that's a great parallel, actually.
Yeah, that character was sort of pulled from sort of a background character, and I think they did that because they saw that Katie was starting to get some good film. Is it Katie O'Brien? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Katie O'Brien was getting all these different film offers and was starting. Her career was really taking off, and I think they thought, well, she can handle this. Let's give her an episode where she's really prominent. So, yeah, there's those two parallels there between that Imperial officer and Clea, where probably the acting ability surpassed what they originally wanted or were hoping for, and they thought, well, let's expand on this. Let's give them something a bit more meaty to get the teeth into. And I think she did a cracking job. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. And whilst I present it in a jokey manner, it is fascinating to see the rebels being painted not in a light of pure purity, that there's an element of grey to them, and they'd have to do bad things to achieve good things, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, that's what rebellions
are. It was fascinating to see the backstory here. It was to see someone like Lonnie, who basically put himself at massive risk and kept himself in a position where if found out he would been killed for treason, to be as pure, his only consideration was his family and kids at the end of the day, and he was still betrayed by Luthen after all that he'd done for Luthen. Fascinating to see that arc played out, to see Clea's origins really, helps explain the situation she's in, because she kind of had this tense relationship with Luthen. It wasn't one built out of love. The commonality was this defeat of the Imperials, basically, was their connection. So it was nice to see there was a familiarity as well to their relationship.
Yeah. I mean, Clea was basically his adoptive daughter.
Yes.
So,
but they didn't have that element of love kind of element to it. It was very much a transactional
Yes, no,
element
yeah,
to the
I
relationship.
agree with that. But I think there was that element of sort of father-daughter. But
Yeah.
you're right, it hadn't got the same emotional attachment to it. It was more sort of out of necessity. But clearly, that like you say, the Godfather kiss on the head scene,
Yeah.
beautifully done. And yeah, I mean, this is why Andor is widely recognized by Star Wars fans as, this is the Shakespeare of Star Wars, if you
It
like.
is. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Because you have to care about these characters in order for this
Yeah,
to have any meaning. And it's
yeah,
bizarre that a character of effectively Lonnie's depth, who's been in it very little, how impactful his death can be. And the same with Clea
yeah,
and her entire arc. If you go back and watch season 1, how little involved she is
yeah,
to how significant she plays. And all these factors play into the climax over the next two elements, why these people do the things that they do. And it just adds layer and layer and layer of intrigue onto all of it for both sides, both
yeah,
Imperial and Rebels, because we haven't even spoke about Data's entire arc here as well, and her
yeah,
confrontation with Luthen, and how beautifully acted that whole scene was.
yeah. She was totally stunned, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Uh, at his actions, and as you would be. I think that almost probably started making her question, what side am I on here? If somebody's willing to go to those lengths,
yeah.
then are they right? Am I wrong? And well, as we get to the next two episodes, well, then we see
And a
very
lovely little
much somebody
callback to the
crestfallen.
whole navigation device that kicked off this
Yeah,
whole thing back on Ferrex as well, which was a nice,
yeah,
lovely callback to see that as well.
yeah. And what I loved about that device is it looked as if it was made for like a 70s show as well. It was
It was, yeah.
very just a clunky Rubik's Cube sort of type of garbage with a few big red buttons on, plastic red buttons. I mean, it just fit. So it was great. But yeah, a really strong episode.
And that is it for this week's Death Star Cometh. And a reminder that the Death Star Cometh is part of Good Morning Tatooine, your weekly live streaming Star Wars news show. Paul, that's us for another
Right.
week. Not a lot of
is.
Star Wars news, but some interesting pieces, some important things happening in the Star Wars galaxy. There's always
Yeah.
something going on. We're in that kind of weird limbo moment where they've just released a trailer and so things quieten down before they pick up again. So
Yeah.
interested to see if we get some more Starfighter news this week. It's kind of would be nice if we got another little image somewhere.
Yeah, or even something for Ahsoka season 2.
Yeah, very true. Just wrapped filming last week, and
Yeah.
it's another show that needs a lot of support and a lot of marketing, much like The Mandalorian and Grogu. So
Yeah.
next year is really going to be important for Star Wars in terms of both film and TV, that you've got two projects that I fear may not be commercially successful. They may be popular among the fan base, but not commercially successful. And that's problematic because love it or loathe it, for Star Wars to continue, it needs to be commercially successful. And we saw that with The Acolyte, where a lot of people very passionate about it. It just didn't get enough of the fan base behind it, and it wasn't a commercial success. And so we get no more. Pivotal for the future of The Mandalorian. Pivotal. I think we're seeing the conclusion of the Ahsoka story arc. Really, with season 2, it feels like that, certainly anyway.
It does. It kind of feels like we've got three big projects here. We've got the TV series and we've got the two films, including Starfighter, that if they don't perform as well as we hope they were going to perform, what that then means moving forward. Does Disney Plus just become a library of stuff that we've already got?
Because
There's nothing added to it.
and we're going to find that out very shortly, I feel, because we're into that window of the shareholders' final meeting of the year, which normally historically has been combined with something of a Disney Plus day.
Yeah.
Because Disney Plus has been supposedly so critical to the financial future of Disney, and it kind of feels that Disney Plus is kind of failing.
Well, also the worlds
and
are
they're
very
kind of
different
backing
place.
away from it, so it's going to be interesting to see how they portray that and show that moving forward as well. So big things on the horizon, important things happening.
I mean, with the world being in turmoil, let's face it, let's be honest about it, how that impacts on decisions as well. I don't think there's the money about that there previously was.
And we haven't even touched on tariffs on films. We should maybe add that to next week's show, shouldn't we?
Let's put that in, because that's an important one to talk about, and perhaps we'll know a little bit more about it.
I should really write something about that. I have great feelings. I should explain it, because it's not explained very well in any article online how it would potentially work.
Do that.
I should write something. I should put something up in Fat Tracks this week. Look out for something at some point this week. I will try and write something up on the entire issue and see where it sits. And of course, we're always one Truth Social post away from it completely changing anyway. So let's see how the week pans out.
Exactly.
On that note, Paul, I think it's time to say it's a good night from me.
And it's a good night from him. Good night.
Keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news each and every day on FanthaTracks.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, and Pinterest at FanthaTracks. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow FanthaTracks TV to be alerted to new content and to be a part of our live shows.